Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Trix. Today I'm literally just gonna talk over like how I set up my desktop environment. So I'm literally just gonna show you my desktop environment, how I use Linux, stuff like that. So if I transition over here, sorry about the picture in picture, let me just do this. So this is This is OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. Okay, so brief introduction. I use Linux, used to use Windows, stepped away from it because wanted something different. So operating system I use, OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. If you want like to improve your security, I just recommend using any Linux distribution. If you want like top tier security, just use something like Debian, Ubuntu, whatever Debian derivative. Please do not install Kali Linux and think that you're going to be a hacker. If you don't know how to use it, you're going to be fucked anyway. Just install an operating system that you can daily drive. So like I recommend if you want, there's 4 that I generally recommend. If you want to go with the Debian route, I would recommend probably Ubuntu or Pop! OS, just because they're 2 companies that probably won't go bust when you're using them. So the actual operating system will probably stay alive for pretty long. In terms of Fedora, I mean pretty much the only 2 that like are viable from Fedora are Red Hat Enterprise Linux and Fedora. The way that their distribution works is you have Fedora, which is like their testing environment, and then once they're finished testing in Fedora, they push everything to Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which they sell to consumers. So it's not like unstable, it's pretty stable. It's just if you want like pure like always on system for like a server or something, I recommend Debian, Ubuntu, or RHEL. If you want a system that you're going to daily, Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, OpenSUSE, and I'm going to get into the OpenSUSE stuff later. There's then OpenSUSE, which has OpenSUSE Leap and OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. OpenSUSE Leap is their like stable distribution, and then OpenSUSE Tumbleweed is their rolling distribution. Then there's Arch Linux, which is just any distribution you want except for Manjaro. Please stay away from Manjaro, they're terrible. Anyway, talking about stable and rolling. Stable just means that your packages get updated, but your distribution gets like a major distribution update, kind of like Windows. So you might have like on Windows where your applications update, and then every year or so they'll release like Windows 10.1 or Windows 10.2 or something, right? So you will update your operating system. With rolling distributions, when you update your packages, most of the time it will also update your operating system. That's the only difference. Other than that, pretty much the same. Host, using a laptop, Lenovo IdeaPad L340i 17IRH. I just call it L340IRH, like same thing. Uptime 3 hours. Packages, RPMs, and Flatpaks. Don't want to get into that because that's like a whole rabbit hole. I use ZSH. You can use whatever shell you want. I just prefer ZSH because it has lots of customization. There's 2 resolutions here. They're both set to the same thing because I have my laptop screen and I have a monitor, but my laptop screen is currently closed, so I'm just using my monitor. Whenever I'm like recording or something, I'm just doing it off of my monitor. Awesome, I'll come back to this. I'll come back to, I'm using Alacrity, I'll come back to that. These are the specs of my laptop, and that's the GPU to that's how much RAM I have in my laptop. So if I open up a terminal, this is drun with Rofi to customize it. It's just like run launcher on Windows, but I've customized this to look nicer. If I click Brave, this will open up Brave. Go into Alacrity. This is my terminal. There's multiple terminals you can use. There's one built with literally just like built into your operating system. Like on Windows there's CMD, PowerShell. On Mac there's Terminal. On Linux there's whatever, and there's like a billion. I just chose Alacrity. I currently have Console and Alacrity, but I prefer Alacrity just because it has more customization. If you want, you can nick my dot files. They are on GitHub. They're public. I do not mind if you use it. Just don't file issues for it if I don't have issues. Because they are my files. If you run into issues with my files, and I don't have issues, I don't know if I'll be able to help you fix it, because unless you're running OpenSUSE, have all of my files and all of my like config installed, then I probably won't be able to help you. But yeah, awesome. This I literally just nicked from another dude. His name is Antonio Fisher, Raven2CZ on GitHub. He's a really cool guy. He helped me configure Awesome WM, because if you see my older videos, I've configured it differently. And I literally just nicked his config and just started using it. And honestly, it's working amazing. Like, he's got a lot of stuff done that I needed like third-party applications to do, and he just done it straight with Awesome. And I was like, that's fucking cool. So I just used his config. There are some stuff that I want to change, and I've contacted him about it to like ask if he could like help me understand how to change it. Like up here, I want to replace this like widget which currently doesn't work with a battery icon. There is support for it in his .files. It's just he hasn't like explained how to change it, so I want to change that. And then his like lock screen widget isn't currently working for me, so I need to contact him to ask him about how to fix it. I've contacted him on Reddit. I just need to like wait for him to contact me back, or like if he doesn't, I might just like open a GitHub issue, just asking him, hey, I contacted you on Reddit, but can you just like explain how to do this? And I'm probably gonna like annoy him, but yeah. Why do I use a window manager instead of a desktop environment? I use it because honestly everything's just a bit easier. Like lots of people are gonna be like, oh no, it's not easier because it's not functional and stuff. Nah, like genuinely, I just prefer this because I can do everything with keyboard shortcuts. Like, imagine the amount of times you have to go to your mouse to hit something, right? Whereas with a window manager, I can literally like, say for example, I want to go to, go back to Firefox here. I mean Brave. Literally just hit super key 2 to change the virtual desktop. If I want to change, if I want to go to my final virtual desktop, I hit super key 9. Let me just go back to 3. If I want to open a terminal, super key E. I keep saying super because it's super in Linux, but on Windows it'll be your Windows key. And then exit. What else? Super Control S opens up the like keyboard key bindings, just so you know what the keyboard key bindings are. If you do want to bring them up, let me just click on that. You can click this up here. If you do decide to use this config, and you can just hit hotkeys, and it literally just tells you how to use it. There's also the manual, which is literally just a manual for Awesome, which just gives you the man page for all of Awesome, like the default config for Awesome. Because Awesome, like out of the box, is very like, how do I explain it? Awesome out of the box is very plain. Without configuration, it will look very shit. But with configuration, Awesome look great. Like I don't know if you guys like my like how I set this up, but I pretty much like it. This is like my task task tray. So like if you minimize stuff, it'll go here. Then I have some widgets for all of this stuff. If I do super J reduces, whoops. Forgot that. Super J switches between the windows, same as Super K. It's just like forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Yeah. And then exit. Super Alt K increases volume. Super Alt J reduces volume. Awesome. What else can I show you? Git. This is just my Git config. Don't really need to go into that. Nvim. Okay, let me open up Nvim. If I go into documents / learning / programming, whoops, learning / let's go into the Flutter interview one that I did. Open up Nvim. Nvim is literally just an IDE that I have. So if I do space enter, space E, it'll open up a file explorer, and then I can literally just like code in terminal. Simple as. I used to configure this myself, but then I literally just got NVChad, which does all the configuration for you, and then I just customize it. Like, basically, what I've realized when sorry, got something caught in my throat. When you start out Linux, people are going to be like, oh, you need to configure everything by yourself. No, you don't need to. Using someone else's config is completely fine. The only bad thing is if you use someone's config and then you don't understand how to configure it, right? So like if I go into here and then click .github, you have NVChat, and it literally just explains to you how to configure stuff. If someone has good documentation on their GitHub, you can configure anything. So I use NVChat. The only things that I've configured myself, looking back, is, let me have a look. So this one. Okay, so in terms of my NVChat, I customized, just need to check. I customized the style, the theme. I customized that's just for me updating. I customize core I haven't touched. Custom. So I could have just gone into custom. Basically, with NVChat specifically, you'll see that if the documentation is good, it will give you some type of customization layer, right? So with Awesome, the maintainer of this awesome config literally made like a ton of YouTube videos just to explain how to like beam it and stuff, but he didn't explain how to customize the status bar. So I just need to ask him how to customize it, and that's it. With NVChat, they have a place where they have like literally a folder structure where you can customize stuff. So in custom, you have your chat RC, which is literally like what you define. So I've said that I want my theme to be Tokyo Dark, and I want to pull my plugins, any extra plugins from custom.plugins, and that literally just goes into custom, grabs plugins, and then goes into init.lua and grabs all of the plugins that I define here. So I say I want Yuck, I want Better Escape, I want Alpha NVim, which is that if I open up NVim again, if I control if I NVim, Alpha NVim is just this. Which key is when I do space, it opens up this like suggestion menu, and then Waka time is just it's just like a status monitor for when I'm coding. So if I open up my stats on GitHub, you'll see this Waka time thing, which just monitors how I code on my system, and literally just describes what I'm coding, how my coding habits, stuff like that. And I just have that inbuilt into NeoVim because my main editor is just NeoVim. Because I'm always just in the terminal, I might as well just have NeoVim there so I can customize stuff in the terminal. PyCom. I literally grabbed this config from someone else on the internet, and all this config does is it rounds the borders on Windows, and when I click off of something, no, that's not what I want. If I click off of something, come back here. No, hang on. If I open up terminal, you'll see it. You see how like the browser is kind of like transparent now. That's what it does. PyCom is a compositor, and in Windows, a compositor is basically like blur effects and stuff. So all of the effects of Windows and stuff. So if I go to 3, you see how it like fades in and fades out. That's all handled by your compositor. That's all a compositor is. And all I did was just configure that manually. Awesome WM is just a window manager. So the difference between a window manager and a desktop environment is a desktop environment is a desktop environment. It has everything baked in. It has like specific applications to configure everything. Whereas with a window manager, everything is just from one file. Not just one file, but everything is from one source location. Whereas with a desktop environment, there are multiple smaller applications which handle different things. Whereas with a Windows manager, you will have plugins, but they won't be separate applications. They'll all be inside the window manager. So, and with desktop environment, it will have a window manager. So window manager handles all of like positioning of your windows, the tiling, all of that stuff. A desktop environment is just a fancy layer on top to make everything a little bit more usable. So like handling notifications, handling transparency, animations, dialogue boxes, stuff like that. But think about it. How many times have you had your operating system actually like do stuff like that? Not most of the time. So you can just like handle notifications by reading them directly from your operating system instead of having like specific error codes or like notifications from your desktop environment, because you don't really need them. So I just configured that myself. And the second thing about desktop environments is they barely use CPU utilization or like GPU or GPU, CPU or RAM utilization. So up in the top corner, you can actually see it. My RAM utilization is 4 gigabytes out of 16. CPU utilization is 20%. On a desktop environment, this might shoot up to like 40, 50, and RAM utilization might shoot up to, even though it's faster and stuff like that than other desktop environments, window manager is a lot better in terms of utilization and is less resource intensive. Rofi, this is literally just like configuration for my run menu. That's all. That's all Rofi is. Literally just like a custom run menu. Well, that's at least what I use it for. Other people use it for like custom menu widgets for like Wi-Fi and stuff, but I have Wi-Fi as like an applet up here, which I can just click and connect to other stuff. Because this is my system tray, and that's all. Then I have my ZSH configuration, which literally has like functions that I want to use in ZSH. Aliases for any applications or programs that I use. My ZSH RC, which basically contains anything to do with my ZSH RC. My zcomp dump, you don't really look at my zcomp dump, like that's really useless. Comp cache, this is just a raw. Literally, if you're gonna copy this, probably leave out the zcomp cache and zcomp dump if you don't want to break your system. Zsa Syntax Highlighting, this is literally just a plugin for ZSH that I've nicked from online somewhere, from OhmyZSH. If you're going to use ZSH, please do not use OhmyZSH. If you want to use their plugins, cool. Just don't install OhmyZSH. You can literally just copy paste their plugins and just call them inside ZSH. And because ZSH will just load it, ZSH is bash, you can just call it through bash and it will load those plugins. Like, that's all. Because all of these are just bash scripts. So instead of like installing OhmyZSH to handle these bash scripts, just call them into OhmyZSH. Just call them into your ZSH RC yourself. Like, that's what I do. All this does is just call them in. And that's pretty much it for my like browser, my window manager. What else can I describe to you? Mod Shift C. If I open up a terminal and neofetch again. This is just Pokemon terminal. Literally just prints a new Pokemon every time I open the terminal. Styling on my terminal is from Starship. You can configure that and find that online. I'm probably not going to leave a link to anything in the description. Literally just like the Google whatever I say. It's good enough. Or just check out my .files. You'll find everything there anyway. What else can I show you if I neofetch? I'm using Tumbleweed over other distributions. You might be like, oh, why aren't you using Arch? Arch is a hassle, okay? I don't want to babysit my system. With Tumbleweed, the only time I've ever babysitted this is... I can't even think of a time I babysitted this, honestly. Things break, but that's just like general to Linux. So nothing's really broken on me that I've been like, oh shit, I need to fix this. And because I'm on my laptop coding all the time, it's not really that big a deal. If you're like not a programmer or you don't use your laptop or like machine often, you might run into issues, but honestly I haven't run into any. This theming stuff, okay, basically with theming I used to use KDE, okay? and that's a desktop environment. Hold on a minute, because I know people are gonna be like, you're just going on about, oh yeah, just use Window Manager. Yes, I use a Window Manager now because I wasn't used to Window Managers, and I was like, I don't know how to use Window Managers. And after like a month of using a desktop environment, I was like, I want to use a Window Manager. Generally, most of the problems you'll encounter on all operating systems are just from your desktop environment. After you get rid of your desktop environment and you just start using a window manager, which is just you tiling windows and you configuring windows to be where you want them, it's fine. Like, I haven't really had a program crash on me because of some UI bug. Most of my programs, if they do crash, are either because too much RAM utilization or it's just not built for Linux and I've hacked my way through trying to get it working on Linux. But yeah, with theming, I just use Dracula because I would prefer Tokyo Night, because inside NeoVim, I use Tokyo Night as my theming. So, which if I go into my Zsha, you'll see it. Literally, like this syntax highlighting and this styling is just Tokyo Night. I just use Dracula because it's the closest you can get to Tokyo Night. If there is like support for Tokyo Night in the future, I'll just switch over to that. But there are different types of theming. There's GTK2, GTK3, and Qt. Long story short, they're just theming types in applications. So on Windows, you'll have WPF, which is Window Platform Window Platform Forms or something. Is through C#. Most Windows applications that I know of are written in C#. Some of them are written in Electron, and those can go fuck themselves. Electron's like a JavaScript framework to cross-compile JavaScript applications into Windows applications, but they run horribly, so stay away from Electron. But basically, you have most applications on Windows written in WPF, so lots of applications will have like a similar style or similar system or whatever, and they all cross-compile to like a similar UI feeling. On Linux, it's kind of different. You have different styling, but all of them conform to a specific style format. So you'll have GTK or Qt in most places. GTK is like the oldest one I can think of. Is GNOME's styling for their applications. I don't really use any GNOME applications that I can think of. Do I even use GNOME? That's notification menu. GNOME applications. Yes, it's KDE. Xterm. Sorry, you're just gonna have to look through this while I'm looking for any GNOME applications I use. The LibreOffice. Can't think of any, but yeah, I can't think of any that use GNOME. But for Qt, that's pretty much like nearly all applications in KDE, I believe, and I just use a ton of KDE applications because I still find them a lot easier to use than like lightweight ones. Like the only good thing about KDE that I believe like people can agree on is the applications that come pre-built with KDE. Lots of them are pretty good. It's just a desktop environment is complete garbage. So like for instance, file manager. This file manager, Dolphin, like lots of people have issues with it. You'll see it in Linus's Linux video where he's like, oh, there's no refresh. It's because he didn't know that you can add a refresh button here. And after that, everything's pretty much good. Like, not a big deal. And then mod shift C to closes. And then what else can I show you? LibreOffice. Like the biggest example of where I use Dracula is probably LibreOffice. So in LibreOffice, if I open up Writer, hang on, it'll take a sec. There you are. Yo, that's weird. Qt 5 settings. Yeah. Quantum Dark. apply, click OK. That didn't fix it. What is it? GTK? No. LX experience, GTK master, pure code, color, icon theme is Dracula, cursor, font, no. Customize look and feel. No, that's not what I want. KDE settings. Appearance. That's Dracula. Application style. That's KDE frameworks. I'm trying to figure out why my window looks weird. Yeah, Dracula. That's why the windows have that tint, but for LibreOffice, it shouldn't look like that. Does that fix it? No. That's so weird. Anyway, yeah, I just use KDE to like customize the application. I don't know why my LibreOffice looks weird right now, because this should have like a black theme up here. It might be because I'm not in KDE. That actually might make sense. That because I'm not in KDE, it looks weird. It still looks fine though. Literally, Dracula theme just makes it dark mode. What should have happened up here is the Dracula theme should have taken effect up here and made this dark mode. What else can I tell you? If you need an email client, please switch to Thunderbird. It's a really good email client. Like, I pretty much use it daily. Notes, use standard notes if you want. Standard notes is very privacy respecting. I'll just go over LibreOffice then. Why I don't use Microsoft Office? Because it's not supported on Linux. Why I don't just use like the browser option? Because browser option sucks. Why do I use LibreOffice instead of other Office suites? Because it has the most like functionality and has the most features that you could use. So like if I close this, that's it. If I open up, if I search LibreOffice, okay, so LibreOffice has a lot of stuff that you can do. You have Base, which is kind of like Microsoft Access for like database stuff. You have Math Formula. I've never actually used Math Formula. You have Draw, which is specifically for like, hang on, let me just open it because it'll be easier if I just show you. LibreOffice Draw, yeah, is kind of like Publisher, but the thing with Draw is you can use it on PDFs. So you could literally open up a PDF in here, and you know how like, oh, you want to move a page in a PDF, you want to cut and paste in a PDF or something like that. You could do it in LibreOffice Draw. You never have to use Adobe's PDF reader or like pay for some PDF thing to like export or join PDFs. You can just do it in here. Like, it's so easy. It's so much easier to do in here. Like, look, duplicate page, delete a page. You could literally just click on a page here and then just click delete. Like, that's how easy it is. And you can do that on PDFs. Crazy, I know, right? But no, people don't want to use this. There's Impress, which is it's like Microsoft PowerPoint, spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel, Writer like Microsoft Word. Literally, if I knew that LibreOffice was like this, I would have switched over a long time ago. It's just I was on Windows, and when I was at university, Microsoft Office was free at uni. But now that I'm not at uni and I'm on Linux, Microsoft Office just isn't viable. Like, if I knew that it would be this easy to use LibreOffice, I would just use LibreOffice from the beginning. Instead of using Grammarly, I use Language Tool. It's free and open source. Literally does the same exact shit as Grammarly, honestly. And yeah, that's about it in terms of software. If you guys want like a in-depth guide on like how I do stuff, I'll go into it. I'll show you like a whole workflow thing. This is literally like my workflow though. The only other thing I can show you, maybe, I'm just thinking what else can I show you? I could show you how I start my OBS, but it's gonna look funky with like the triple screening thing. The only other thing that I do want to show you guys is, where is it? Lutris. So Lutris lets me run games on Linux. So lots of games do run on Linux. It's just, lots of people don't know that games run on Linux. So why is Lutris being funky? Okay. Don't know why it's being weird. Basically, Lutris lets you connect to everything if you want to. So I don't know why that looks weird, but you can connect to GOG, Humble Bundle, Epic Games, Origin, Ubisoft. You can look at local games on your system. You can connect to Steam. You can also pull in, which I really like about this, because I do like play emulators. I have a 3DS, and until I get a capture card, I might just do 3DS emulation through Citra. There's Desmoon, which is a DS emulator. I do have some DS games that I play on my 3DS. There's Dolphin, which is a GameCube emulator. There are some GameCube games that I still want to finish, like Batman Vengeance and Mario Sunshine. What other games can you do? I don't really play MAME games. The MovePen 64, but I don't really play N64 games. The PPSSPP. Again, I used to have a PSP, and looking back on the library, I don't really want to play any games from PPSSPP on PSP. There's Sega Dreamcast emulator. If you guys want to play any Dreamcast games, you can emulate the PS3 and play some PS3 games if you want. There's a Super Nintendo emulator if you want to play any Super Nintendo games. And there's a Yuzu emulator, which is a Nintendo Switch emulator if you want to play any Nintendo Switch games. That's just hardware info for my system, global options and stuff. Literally, this is like all of your games in one place. So instead of you having to like physically add your games to Steam and stuff, like, locate the file, say that it's not in Steam, that it's not a Steam game, and just add it like that. As long as you have the source, you can literally just connect it and it will load up in here, and then once the game's installed, it will just show up here. So I just say, if you can, literally just use Lutris if you're on Linux. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't. I think Lutris is pretty good for like a game runner / game launcher. It just lets me like connect to everything. But yeah, next game I'm gonna play is, it's not here. I don't know why it's not here, because I literally installed the game. Hang on, let's just load. These are all the games I currently have, by the way. If you want me to get a different game, please tell me. I have Shadow Warrior Classic Complete. I have Celeste, City of Brass, Into the Gungeon, Hyper Light Drifter, Inside, The Last Day of June, Moonlighter, Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden, Overcooked, Rhyme, The War of Mine, Unreal Tournament, 7 Days to Die, Ascend, Hand of Cool, Aura Kingdom, Alliance for Valiant Arms, Blacklight Retribution, CSGO, Friday the 13th, Killer Puzzle, Ghost in the Shell, Standard and Complex First Assault Online, Grid, Narcissu, First and Second, Path of Exile, Payday 2, Terror, Warframe, You Have to Win the Game, Among Us, and Hitman. Of course, if a game is free, I will get the game and play it if you want me to. It's just, I'm going to live stream me playing Hitman because I bought it recently. Again, thank you very much, Adrian, for recommending it. I am going to play through it over, probably, I'm going to start playing it tomorrow after I apply to some jobs. But yeah. If you guys want me to do any Linux videos or anything like that, please comment down below, and I'll like structure a video or something. I do have a server that I use. It should be connected to this thing. If I hit mod E, let me just check. Yeah, server. Here's my server. It's a server literally sitting underneath my TV downstairs. It's like my old PC, and I just back up some stuff to it. That's all. I need to update this folder structure because it's not reflective of how I've organized things now. But anyway, mod shift C. Yeah, if you guys want me to do any tutorials or anything specific, I'll make a video. I just need to know what you guys are interested in, what you want me to do. Other than that, if you like the video, please leave a like on the video. If you dislike the video, please leave a dislike on the video, and comment down below ways that I can improve content on the channel to make your viewing experience better. Because I don't want to put on content that's pretty much crap. I want to put out content that you guys enjoy and that I enjoy making, and I'm pretty much bored, so I'll do anything. That's why I was like, Mandem, recommend me a game to play because I'm bored. And then one of my mates literally like listed off like I don't know how many games in the group chat, and I was like, bruh, I can only play like one, give me a sec. So I'm gonna play Hitman on my mate Adrian's recommendation, and I might play another game later. Again, if you want to play any type of game, please leave a comment down below for the type of game you want me to do. It doesn't matter what console it is, I'll find a way to play it. If you want me to do a specific type of video, please leave a comment down below and I'll do a video based on that. Of course, if I don't like making that type of content, I might not continue to make it, but I'll at least make one video just because someone asked me to make that video. I'm not going to just shoot down the video just because someone's like, oh no, oh do this, and I'm like, no, that's not going to be fun. No, I'll at least do one video, and if I don't like making that video, then I just won't continue. If I like making that video, I'll continue. But yeah, if you want to see my KDE side, I could do that, like my KDE desktop, but honestly, it's literally the same as this, except it's a static background. Like the background doesn't change between anything. So like, you know how the background changes. If I move this to a different screen, you'll see that our background changes and stuff, right? But yeah, every time I go to 1, it changes. But yeah, on my KDE, that's desktop, it's all just static, so none of the elements update. It's just it literally looks like my old setup on my awesome window manager, except literally like a bar down here, and then everything's in KDE, so everything's like kind of slow, and CPU and GPU RAM utilization is way higher just because I'm in KDE. Window managers are like the way to go if you want to save resources. But yeah, other than that, if you like the video, please leave a like on the video. If you dislike the video, I'm realizing that I should probably switch this. If you like the video, please leave a like on the video. If you dislike the video, please leave a dislike on the video and comment down below ways that I can improve content on the channel and make content better for you. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description. Peace.